Versus split amongst the other five.
Hey,
Rightio, now we're on to the ultimate beer for the day, and for me, it was the ultimate beer.
we need some more of that.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? The Straff Henry.
Bart, did you bring some more?
There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You might want to show them what it looks like, Andrew. You've got some in that glass there.
It looks delicious.
It's quite dark, isn't it?
So
It
it's
is,
dark,
ruby
but
red to black.
it's not black.
Not quite
as
Guinness.
Guinness. It's amber. It's 11%.
That's enough.
So quad's always above 10. Yeah, it's never this color. It's always sort of amber at least, or darker. Again, they use the sugars that we talked about earlier, which will give it the darker color.
This tastes a lot more like an insane brown ale than an amber or anything. Is actually, there's a question. Is a brown ale actually a style?
So, if you look into the history of brown ale, it was early 20th century invention in Britain of the concept of a nut brown ale, and people think that the nut brown is like, it's got nutty flavours. And it's really interesting that if you call something nut brown ale, people will go
start tasting the nuts.
They will taste the nuts. It was intended to represent what the colour looked like, you know, like a hazelnut. It was supposed to be about what a nut looks like. But no, Newcastle Brown Ale, as an example of a brown ale, was an invention because they wanted a beer that had that, you know, those characteristics, you know. So, my short answer would be that brown ale is not really a style. There was a southern brown and a northern brown in the UK.
So in the AOBA, you're looking at an amber, or is it?
Oh no, so in the ABA, you probably, I can't remember, but you probably would find a brown ale category.
Oh no, I think it's an amber brown. I think
it could be. But in terms of it, like, you know, a porter is or a stout, say, or, you know, there's certain beers that are very obviously distinctively different. A brown ale really is a thing that we can call an ale that happens to be brown.
Yeah.
But it might be a hoppy brown ale, or it might be a low hop brown ale.
The other question I was going to ask Bart is, how many different quads? I've had probably 3. I haven't had many. I've only about 3 different quads that I've ever seen, and 2 of those were from Belgium. One wasn't. It was from a Trappist brewery, Le Trap, and I found that one to be really caramelly and really toffee, which this one isn't. This isn't big caramels and toffee. This is actually complex, rich, rounded. It does have hints in there of toffee and caramel, but not big, rich, sweet caramel. So what defines the quads in regard to flavour profile? Is there any particular flavour profile there would be, or not?
That's certainly an interesting question, and the answer isn't easy. I mean, doubles and triples are more clear. You know, a double is got that dark, those dark chocolatey toasted flavors. The triple is strong and blonde. Quadruples is a bit more fused. It's a bit more, diverse as a category. And the one thing you could say, it's above 10%. It has to be above 10%. But apart from that, every brewery has a bit of freedom to do their own expression of what a quad
So
is.
a barley wine, which is also above 10%, could qualify as a quad?
The yeast would be so different, I think, is the
So
issue
it's a
there.
yeast variation.
Next door Bart was pointing out that the yeast choice, so you've got that
Saccharomyces
10, 13 or 12, 13, the Y yeast, that is the Abbey yeast, for example, is just brilliant at munching through those high gravity beers. And you would not use that yeast in an English beer style, which is barley wine. It is just not appropriate. It gives you different esters. It gives you different aromas, and I suspect, that is the real difference between a barley wine and a quad. Would really be down to the yeast.
The yeast.
Yeah. You
Because
couldn't use an English yeast in a Belgian beer.
Because it's funny, because when you're talking about yeast, this is actually, again, a big area that I've actually had to study in for wine, is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, I think it's called, is there are, the CSIRO in Australia actually goes through, and they've got a book. You can actually pick and choose what yeast you want depending on the vintage and depending on what you're trying to get out of the grapes, out of the wine.
It's the same in beer.
Literally, it's the same in beer. So they just define it a bit more rigorously.
So the quantity that you use, so as Bart was saying, some yeasts won't go beyond a certain alcohol level. So the quantity of alcohol that you're using reflects the type of the amount of yeast that you put in, but also the alcoholic strength, or not the alcoholic strength, but the final gravity. What you're trying to achieve is effective. Which type of yeast you use as well. So it's
one of the things.
whole other thing.
One of the things I'm getting out of this is actually orange. Like, you get just hints of orange in there, orange chocolate. It's just
okay, that makes sense. It's like that roasty thing that comes as well.
Yeah.
A syrupy finish is what the website specifies. Did it have I'm wondering if that's like a black treacle type?
I'm probably not getting that. I do understand what they mean by syrupy, like that sort of golden syrup sort of finish that you're getting, but it's not sweet. Not ridiculously sweet, and it's not cloying, which is probably the big part.
Yeah, the Straffhendrick really isn't cloying, is it?
No. It's a beautiful beer.
We should probably
I think we'll end it there, but thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you all in the next Brew Crew, which is Fear the Dark.
Fear the Dark.
Fear the Dark.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, Bart.
Thanks, Bart.
No worries.